See, I- I've been saying for a while now, and even more so this time about the kind of things that managers should do in terms of learning. Say, we're modern day English Premier League manager, and you are not learning, and you are not changing your methods, sir, then you are going to be in some serious trouble. You are essentially going to struggle to manage a few of the things that comes by our English Premier League. Now, who am I talking about? What am I talking about? There is an interesting thing that Enzo Maresca is doing from the pre-match press conferences, the post-match press conferences, and also in the lead-up to the annual game on by against Wolverhampton Wanderers. He needs to change a couple of things. He needs to tweak things. He needs to find ways to get results in the very interesting and then different ways of doing things with English Premier League. And yes, he's going to struggle. And yes, he's going to be under serious struggle as he goes forward in the next coming games or on. Now, hi, Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. So subscribe to the channel and subscribe to the channel. It's your best place for football analysis. On the field, off the field, honey, among the best in terms of analysis. Subscribe to the channel, turn notification. Of course, you're invested there. Then every day in the description of the video, the codes are right there on the description. We can pick up those codes and give yourself a big chance of winning something. I'm over here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube, Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Let me say a big thank you to the two people who have made this show a possibility. First off, Yesumo Spare Parts Dealership Shop. Maka, say Komasi. If it's about car spare parts, somebody that'll give you the best in terms of car spare parts, and it's Yesumo. Yesumo is brilliant. He is brilliant in terms of getting the best quality spare parts for Ubia on Yesumo Eyejuma. He will find those ones for you. Again, say, open source send him out wherever you are in the country. Yesumo, that's what he calls the nationwide delivery. Or send him out. Or Accra, so kind honor Yesumo. Michelle, call him. Take the number 059-313-8221. 059-313-8221. Yesumo will take care of you wherever you are in the country. Of course, there is my man, MOB Clothing, Gerald. See, if you want clothes, upper apparel, you want to look clean, you want to look dapper, you want to look solid in Onion maybe out here. Then MOB Clothing will find those attire for you. Atade bi out, whether say a top, say a shirt, or a flower, or to do a flower station, and MOB Clothing. But if you want him to also deliver, just take the number 0200-668-708, 0200-668-708. Michelle, contact MOB Clothing right now. Let him take very, very good care of you. Non sort out on your money now. And from now, let's start from here. Maresca say, Oko English Premier League. Now, coach your friend Ange Postecoglou. Who say Ange Postecoglou are born in the back five that. Now, Okuku shia Ange Postecoglou baby. Okuku drew mo shia Ange Postecoglou no. No be Ange Postecoglou say Ange. Me no nanti hear me who as a coach. I've never seen you play in a back five before. But I didn't hear. And Ange started say oh sorry. And that was before say Ange was appointed as the coach of Nottingham Forest. So then he went later on. He has gone on. Ange just say then he met Ange as the new coach of Nottingham Forest. That day Nottingham Forest team in the back five. And he goes on to say he was shocked, but I'm a little bit surprised by Maresca's reaction. Why is he shocked? Why is he surprised? It's the same as Regis Lebris. I remember after the Manchester United game, I was telling people, say, Sunderland have never played in the back five in the English Premier League this season. I remember when Sunderland went away to go and play against Manchester United at Old Trafford and they were battered. Maybe that was where Regis Lebris learned. Because he went to open up and play in a 4-3-3 against Manchester United. And he was walloped. Now he came to the Stamford Bridge, set up in a compact back five. 5-3-2, solid, very organized, central blockage. Difficult for you to find passing lanes or to pass through him or anything. Very difficult against Chelsea. Ended up winning the game by 2-1. I mean, employing set piece routines and whatnot. Now, what does he tell anybody? Essentially, what it means is that, see, I've said it several times, the Premier League is 90% pragmatism. So, make up pragmatism. The teams that play in the Premier League, They will do things that will give them points. They are not in to come and play nice football. Forget about it. If anybody told you that teams in the Premier League are interested in playing tiki-taka, half 10, half pace, all of those BS jargons, then forget about it. What they are interested in doing is getting results. So 90% of the teams in there will do, especially the teams that have come from the lower division, they'll do everything possible to make sure say they are staying in the league as long as possible. If that means that they have to beat you in a back five to stay in the league as possible, they'll do that. Now let me read exactly what Enzo Maresca said, and of course we'll go on with it. Maresca said, 4 weeks ago, I was in London for the LMA, I think London Metropolitan Assembly Award. I was with Ange Postecoglou. Before he took the job with Forest, we were speaking, and I said, Ange, I've never seen your team play in a back five, apart from the last 10 minutes in the Europa League final against United. He started to laugh and said, I hate to play in a back five, but because it was the last 10 minutes, we needed to win the title. I said, okay, I don't care. We play a back five. We played Forest, it was a back five. And I prepared the game against with a back four. Enzo Maresca made a big mistake here. So in the warm-up, they are setting up in a back five. Guys, all the plan, rubbish, back five. This is difficult for the players. It's not when you know you play against a team and they always play against a back five. Okay, we prepare all week, 2 or 3 days, or can win a game, and then we know how to win a game. The problem is when you face a team that play in a back four and arrive here and sits in a back five, it's complicated. This is the only difference. So you see, I can understand where Maresca is coming from. In the context of the things, okay, am I preparing in a back five, in a back four, what have you? And the truth of the matter is that Chelsea really doesn't have the tools to break down back fives easily. Chelsea doesn't have the tools, especially when certain players are injured. That is why it was very important for Chelsea to get a focal point in attack. Now, the absence of Liam Delap was very huge because when you don't have the tools to break down a back five, you can't break down a back five. Forget about what anybody will say. In the modern game today, if you don't have the tools to break down a back five, you will struggle. 3 center backs across the central area of the field of play. You see, what the back five does is that it gives you wing backs or full backs that's essentially their job is supposed to. Let me explain like this. On the football pitch, there are 5 different zones. The 2 wide zones and then 3 central zones. So the 3 central zones is divided into 3. There is a right half space, left half space, and then the central zone, right? So in this area, when somebody plays a back five, all the 5 defensive zones are being covered. So in terms of, you can't have numerical superiority against them. You can't really overload them in those areas. The best thing you can do is to be pulling them out of the shape. Because if they're in that shape, you can't break it down. Or you bypass those wide shapes and then spam in crosses into the box. That is when you have 2 players, or at least one, that are physical, imposing, and box dominant to deal with the 3 center backs as and when, so the spaces in between them. Or you arrive late with this kind of structure in between them. That is how you deal with a back five. And like Maresca is saying, I think that he was asked in that interview, and journalists asked him, say, I didn't see the teams about back five or Bressa. It's as if when people play back five against you, struggle. And I've seen a lot of people in the comment section actually say, Afi, it looks as if Maresca only the antidote in playing a back five or back five be or bre. I didn't hear. And that is the explanation. The explanation is that when Maresca is playing in a back five, he is saying that sometimes, most of the times, he prepares against a back four. He has given 2 examples: Sunderland, Regis Lebris, and also Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest, I was surprised. Even me, I was surprised. Michelle Nottingham Forest starting lineup or boy in the back five. I was like, Ange Postecoglou, a boy in the back five. Then he tells you that he's in trouble. What Maresca has to understand is that the way he wants points is the same way opponent wants points, especially the smaller teams. I think Maresca needs to put it in his head that every smaller team that will pop up at Stamford Bridge, most especially, is coming to play in the back five. I mean, so you prepare for teams, you prepare for games two different ways. Their regular way of playing. So if you go into the game and they are sitting in their regular way of playing, which is the 4-3-3 against everybody, you go with the plan A. If you go for games and they are prepared specially against you, especially at Stamford Bridge again, because Stamford Bridge, they know that one, you will struggle to break them down. You struggle to pick them apart, especially they focus on central congestion. You struggle. And when you struggle to do all of these things, now your fans are going to be impatient, they are going to be stressed, and then you are going to have a lot of issues. So you will be forced to do a lot of things. That's why they can turn possession over and hurt you. I think these are things that Maresca should know by now. Maresca going into games by now, they need to find ways to sort out to play in a back five. You can't essentially be playing in a back five and then you are relaxed. And you are saying that, oh, because everybody that play in a back five, everybody comes here and plays in a back five, me too, I'm playing in a back five. That is going to be suicidal. You need to be able to do more in that regard. And Maresca knows this is the very explicit explanation of what happened against Nottingham Forest. There are times some matches are won not by tactics or technicians, but by the chance the players generate with individual brilliance. Of course, I mean, when you look at the game that Chelsea played against Nottingham Forest, it was clear. See, one of the things that Chelsea will be able to do going forward is the availability of Liam Delap. Now, Liam Delap, I've said it several times, his arrival is very important because it gives the team the focal point. Chelsea team normally focal point. Make a focal point. I mean, say a team now is able to hold that play, is able to now receive the ball onto their chest, turn around, play forward. Now, as Okiunim said, this guy is in this area. And see, when we are playing through the thirds in build-up, the passing lanes are blocked. It's difficult for us to find anybody. What we can now do is to go long. Find Liam Delap. Get Liam Delap, man, born in turn the chest so and turn the 9, on 10 around, on play forward. That is essentially how you can win the game. And yes, sir, when you are playing against teams like this, that's also set you off, now Chelsea or relax. You will not be able to get success against teams like that. The only success that you can be able to get is when you're able to go long, go into the path, hold that play, find the focal point in there. It's very important. I think one of the things that Chelsea will be able to do next season is probably that, say, Emmanuel Emenega be joining team now, or maybe Liam Delap, both of them. Enzo Maresca can now play it also a 3-5-2 against any opponent. No, two wing backs, two center backs, two center forwards or boxing. Maybe a ball, one center or Liam Delap, maybe or another center forward. Maybe Joaquin Panicelli or boxing now Liam Delap. Ball crosses ni gumusa. Once we born 3-0 from crosses and qua. Then they open up to play. When they open up to play, then you also hurt them again. Because that is exactly what it is. The Premier League will not do that. You need to make sure that you go into games and prepared for things that are going to go on. Because it's very, very important. In that pre-match press conference, Enzo Maresca said a lot of things. He discussed a lot of things, discussed the quality, discussed the style of play. Very, very important when it comes to what Enzo Maresca could do. They asked him about the player for Alejandro Garnacho. And Maresca said Garnacho is doing well. He is working very hard every day. He is getting better and better. And this moment, we are happy that he is playing. The Carabao Cup, I think, presents a very good opportunity for Enzo Maresca and his team. An opportunity to win a trophy again this season. And to constantly say that, okay, every season we're able to win something. Every season we're able to win something. After winning the Club World Cup and, of course, the Conference League. The truth of the matter is that after Chelsea winning the Conference League and the Club World Cup, a lot of teams will play against them differently. Teams now essentially respects them. Last season, teams will come to Stamford Bridge and open up to play. Then they'll be heads. Now they have given you the respect. They've given you the respect. Then you need to find ways. You need to do more to be able to break them down. He says that Maresca went on to say that we are going to try to continue to score goals. When we score goals, set pieces, or open play, probably we need to play a little bit. We need to pay a little bit more attention in the goal that we are. The moments that we are conceding as it stands now. Now he goes on. He says that he goes on to say that talks about the preparation for the game. I'll say the thing that we need to improve and we need to learn, it's the things that you are saying to the players every day. Now the teams that probably play now, that teams probably because that we achieved what we achieved last season, teams have changed against us. Sunderland 9 games in the Premier League. They never played with a back five. From the stats, from the start, they played 9 games. I watched all of the 9 games from Sunderland before our game. Never. So according to Enzo Maresca, when teams go on and play like this, He never changed. But Maresca needs to get plan Bs on the touchline. You can't just say that because I'm in a back five. You just say that, okay, fine. Maresca needs, they play in the back five, so that is all. He needs to change things. They ask him, Enzo Maresca, when they ask him about the team's preparation, he says that this is a very good question. We have some difficulties we like to analyze. And so in these days, we are trying to analyze all of last season's games against teams that sits back to see the results, to see the game, how we can do better, how we can improve, because we are always looking to improve. Talking about that same back five conundrum and the issues that come with it. So he says that this season, that is something that he's trying to work on. I'm going to share the successes that they got last season in terms of back five, the kind of football that they played and stuff like that. Now, he say that is something that he's trying to do again this season, to reanalyze, reassess, and then find ways where he'll be able to get a results and then play well in terms of the games that are in that area. It's very, very important to him. I think Maresca needs to find ways to sort out things like that. They need to make sure they sorted out things like that. Chelsea, for and round, they gave four separate awards to Omo players. Chelsea and round gave 4 separate awards. One, so the first award that Chelsea gave yesterday was to my brand friend Enzo Fernandez. Now, Enzo Fernandez went on to then get an award for players that have played 100 games and more. If you remember, I think Reece James had played 100 games. Reece James had about 100 games the last time. Reece James was given an award for playing 200 games actually. But then not other players have played 100 games and more. You look at Obi to say Marco Correa, he had played 100 games. So, and now Chelsea won him an award for playing that many games. Our English Premier League for Chelsea Football Club. My brand here friend Enzo Fernandez Nsoji Award for playing 100 games. I like that thing that the sporting directors are doing. I think that it's going to make the players feel like they are wanted. It's going to make them feel like they have been given a lot of, how do I say it, a lot of recognition, because Juma at this level, and then you get a recognition for the kind of job that you are doing. It's very, very good. It's very inspiring for a player, and that's something that I think that is going to be very, very good for the players, and they need to be able to get stuff like that. Again, my brand here, a friend Maresca said, who also got an award for playing 100 games for Chelsea Football Club, and I think it's something that they all want to do. They want to make sure, say now, almost every game that they play, the milestones that the players chalk, because we have 100 games more, it's huge. You need to be able to give them those milestones. 200 games, they have to give them that. The last time captain was James, and of course it has to be more. I mean, the other players, Cole Palmer, same. That was the very first time seeing Cole Palmer in training kits, although not in shape boots. What we heard is that Cole Palmer has returned to training. We're returning to training now. Things are beginning to do well when it comes to Cole Palmer recovery and in how he wants to go and play football. And he has returned to training. As to when he will start playing on the field of playing there, it will take a couple of weeks. We're hearing say maybe some 3-4 weeks to be there. Cole Palmer will be back onto the playing field, playing some good football for himself. I think, that is how Chelsea has to be run with some of these things to get a quality from our players now. And Maresca needs to find ways to get results. I mean, it's not enough to think that, okay, just when somebody plays in the back five, so it has to end like that. You need to have systems and structures for plan B. I think Maresca should, because back five, they're back five. There are too many variations of a back five. Either a 5-3, 4-3, 4-3, or 3-5-2. So Maresca should know that there is one aggressive iteration of a back five, whilst there is also the normal iteration of a back five. He needs to work on back fives and then work on 4-3-3s and a 4-2-3-1s, depending on the opponent as well. So every time that he's going into games, that's back five. Now, once you realize a team member in a back five, they switch quickly, then they can get results in there. And I also think that the arrival of Liam Delap is going to coincide with a lot of goals with Joao Pedro, but it's not going to be a coincidence. There'll be a lot of goals in there. Maresca, the last time spoke about Joshua Champon. I said the last time, I disagreed with him when he took Joshua Champon out of the team. Taking Joshua Champon out of the team for me was very, very wrong. There was no need in taking out a branch friend Joshua Champon. I think that the Champon was playing very well. The Champon was playing particularly well. He was the leader of the back line. there was no need for Enzo Maresca to take out a Abrante friend Joshua Champon. But of course, he took him out, and he was asked in the pre-match press conference. He went on and says that I'm very happy with the Champions' attitude since day one. I hope he feels trusted, and as part of the group, it's difficult to play in the UCL and to play from the start in the Premier League. So we show him trust and confidence, telling him that they want to let him play or honor Maresca. It's not about trust and confidence again. The boy has proven that he can play. I think it's important that Enzo Maresca gives him the chance to play El Honor. The boy is good, Maresca. It's time for him to start playing Joshua Champon consistently. I mean, but for that Benoit Bediashile injury, it could have simply been a partnership of a Champon and Benoit for the rest of the season until everybody comes in, until Levi Kool comes. But then Benoit got injured again, and why is that we are chop changing? I mean, the boy has to be playing. Garnacho is doing well according to Maresca. We are trying to manage Alhan Ale since he arrived. He's not 100% for Man United. He is working hard every day. He's getting better and better. And in this moment, we are happy with the way he's playing according to Enzo Maresca on Abrante friend Alejandro Garnacho, and then the quality that he brings to teams. Mikel Arteta's team, Arsenal Football Club, about games, and he spoke about William Saliba. Saliba is going to be out. We are assessing him. Gabriel Martinelli will be out as well. We have to do some tests and see the extent of the injury. Rice, Calafiori, and Saka are going to be fine according to Abrante friend Mikel Arteta. On Arsenal players who are not going to be fit for, and then you may gain some because of Carabao Cup. Now, Arteta, also when you look at Max Daumann in training, you have to play him. If not, you are blind, or I am blind. The feeling that I have is that genuinely he loves it here. Huge Arsenal supporter, and his family also. Hopefully, he's going to have many years with us. I mean, that boy is very, very good. A lot of the people who are Arsenal fans that know him and watch him keep on talking about the quality of Abrante friend and Max Daumann. Bukayo Saka. Arsenal are progressing well with a contract extension for Abrante friend Bukayo Saka. That is huge. I mean, Bukayo has embodied everything Arsenal for a very, very long time. Almost everything that means Arsenal and its success. Mekai Ono and Abrante friend Thomas Partey, they have been two of Arsenal's most consistent soldiers in terms of the job that they've done at our club. And they deserve, if anybody does deserve, and Bukayo Saka and Thomas Partey deserve to be at the very top. Very, very top in terms of Arsenal recognizing their work. For Partey, we know what happened. But then again, Bukayo Saka contract extension is huge in every right of the word. And the salary details are being discussed, but all parties involved aligned and convinced to move forward together. Talks are already underway before the summer window, and it's proceeding well, according to Bukayo Saka. Paris Saint-Germain will expect William Pacho's new deal to be valid for the next 5 years to be signed in the end of 2025. It's considered that it's only a matter of time. And now, Pep Guardiola came out and said that there's no time frame for Rodri's return yet. He's not ready yet, according to Josep Guardiola. I think that at the beginning, Pep Guardiola and the medical staff, they seem to have rushed Abrante friend Rodri back into the team, and it looks as if they want to get back and do the right thing. So for sure, he's getting better, training with us partially, but after that, what happened 2 times prior incident in Mascola, we are going to see how he evolves this week. Like I said, it looks as if they are going to manage him when it comes to that. It looks as if they are going to manage him when it comes to how he has to manage some of these things. Now, they are definitely going to manage Abrante, your friend they're definitely going to manage Abrante, your friend Rodri Cascante, so that he doesn't recur in some of those injury issues again. And of course, after the Grand Clasico, Becca said at Barcelona, everybody said it was time to get Lamine Yamal to focus. Get him fit and get him focused. Get him fit and get him focused. That's exactly what the Barca papers were saying. Mundo Deportivo, Sport, everybody were saying that it is time to get Lamine Yamal focused and then get him to come and do the right thing in terms of the playing and how they want him to do his things. Now, that's exactly what teams want to do with Abrante friend Lamine Yamal. That's exactly how they want to sort out it. Do you think Lamine is the best player in the world? They went to ask Inaki Peña. El Honor, of course, the best in the world currently. Inaki Peña say, Lamine Yamal. Rafinha is one of only 2 players to create more than 100 chances in La Liga since last season. Of course, I'm a huge critic. I said the last time, said Barca's P&P, pace and power, and that intensity to run the channels is hinged on one man. He is the man that makes all of those things work. Nobody else. Nobody else has that quality of our brand friend Rafinha. If you don't know Rafinha, maybe then you don't know the quality that he comes with. He's the one that makes all of those things work. And for me, he has proven beyond reasonable doubt. He has proven beyond more than reasonable doubt. Say he is the guy that makes all of those things happen in terms of how you want to play, how you want, where you want the ball to go through, the creation. I mean, constantly pressing and counter pressing the first receiver, second receiver. All of those things have to go through our brand friend Rafinha. And for me, he is super important. Super important. But in terms of what you want to get from a player on El Horno. With 6 goals, Fermin Lopez, your Barca's all-time Barca's top scorer this season. I like Fermin. I've said it several times. I think he has pure finishing instincts. I mean, for somebody who's not in number 9, sign a finishing instinct there top. And Barca will need to keep him fit, but if they're able to go to the levels where they want to go. Details, Lamine Yamal's new mansion per the AS Dario. Almost the deal took about 3 to 4 months to complete. The house was previously owned by Piqué and Shakira and is located in one of Barcelona's most upscale neighborhoods, Ciutat Diagonal. The villa consists of 2 connected houses with a total area approximately 1,200 acres. It's just about 10 kilometers from the sport city. It's also located near the homes of Araujo, Balde, and Iniesta. It also has 6 bedrooms, 2 pools, indoor and outdoor, a gym, library, recording studio previously used by Shakira, which Nicky Nicole could now use. The villa will be fully renovated to suit the lifestyle of the professional footballer. The project includes private fitness gym, physiotherapy room, an advanced security system to ensure privacy, small football pitch, and then a pedal court. Lamine Yamal, new house, quality guy. Quality guy. I mean, he has to do the job when it comes to our brand friend and Lamine Yamal over there. It's a good one for our brand friend Lamine Yamal. Justin Barca and Lamine Yamal have agreed to cancel the interview that was scheduled for this Tuesday with a French streamer, Amini Mathieu. Barca had recommended it and the players accepted. Say they cancelled that interview on Barca. At Barca, they see Lamine's public discomforts have practically disappeared completely, but he still might not feel 100% yet. They say that the discomforts have gone. 3 things Hansi Flick Barcelona need to do to get things back on track after the Clásico. Very important. Barcelona dominated possession, 68% of the possession at the Bernabeu. That was never in doubt. Everybody who is even a rookie in the game knew that Barca was definitely going to dominate possession at the Bernabeu. It was also always very important. Barcelona struggles continue to mount as the month of October proves to be one of the toughest stretches of the year. Of course, losing to Villa, Paris Saint-Germain, and of course, in the Santiago Bernabeu was huge. I think that one of the things that Barcelona needs to do is to get Rafinha back into the fray and then rediscover his form. It's very important. And also making sure that Lamine Yamal needs to be fit and focused. The FF for Lamine Yamal and then getting Abrante friend Rafinha back into it. And of course, the whole team taking it a step at a time. It's very important for Football Club Barcelona. Be able to do these things because, see, how many times we speak about Rafinha? How many times we speak about the quality that he brings to the team? On Hansi Flick's keys to getting back this season: defensive solidity. Rafinha's energy will help the team press. Match, I've said it. Rafinha is the tone setter for that intensity levels that you want to go. He sets those tones. So you're intense, so you're physical, so turning over positioner. Everything goes to our brand friend Rafinha. I mean, Rafinha is the one that does that job essentially. He's the one that makes things happen in that regard over there for you. Lamine needs to fully recover from his pubalgia. It's very important that they get that from a brand friend Lamine Yamal. If he's able to fully recover and then stays fit and focus on how things have to be done, I think that Lamine Yamal is going to be able to do some good stuff. It's important that Lamine Yamal gets back to that point when it comes to how things are going to go on over there. Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Thank you very much, Pa, for choosing us. We'll be back with some more, of course, later in the day. We'll bring some more analysis. And of course, then you may, after the Wolves game, we'll be right here. So then, do take care.